Parag Rangnekar, and I'm a master's in agriculture. I've also done my master's in ecology and environment. Presently working as a program manager with the Mineral Foundation of Goa. I wear many hats at times, so I do a lot of other works as well. I'm associated with other NGOs, including being the founder president of the Goa Bird Conservation Network. Also presently the president of the Foundation for Environment Research and Conservation. I'm also an expert member on the Goa State Biodiversity Board, and my interest lies in the outdoors and in nature. Ninth standard, frankly, was probably a carefree time. So again, like I said, my interest lies in the outdoors. So I was more focused on, basically playing and sports. So basketball was my favorite sport. So I was spent actually even when I was in my 10th standard, I continued playing basketball. I was an average student, not somebody who did his work sincerely. So yeah, so I don't think really, at that point in time, somebody thought too much about his or her career. But one thing was sure that I always wanted something that was connected with outdoors and connected with nature. I chose science again for the obvious reasons, because I was interested in wildlife, and I think by the time I was in 11th standard, I had made up my mind that I would choose the stream of agriculture for my graduation. So one of the reasons I chose science. See, we own a little bit of land in Maharashtra. That's where I originally come from. So whenever we used to go there, working in the fields was a normal thing. And another of my motivations was that I wanted to serve in the forest services. One of the reasons I chose agriculture was also that there was a past trend that students who have taken agriculture as one of the subjects have done relatively well in the Indian Forest Service examinations. So that was another motivation. I think finally interest is what really matters. So if you are interested in something, you obviously have to work towards it. I don't think there's any rocket science behind it. But if you are interested in a particular stream, obviously you will work well towards it, and also be a little focused in terms of what how you pursue it. Like I said earlier, I've always been inclined towards the outdoors, towards nature, and then as I progressed further, I got interested in documenting wildlife and things like that. And that is one of the reasons I chose my career also in that fashion, that I work not only in the field of nature and wildlife, but also with local communities who live in these natural spaces. That's the reason why NGO became a very clear choice to work for, because then you have the flexibility of working with communities, with nature, and do varied kinds of works. So I did my 11th and 12th science in Dempe College, Dempe High Secondary. Then I did my agriculture graduation from the Marathwada Agriculture University in Parabhani, that is Maharashtra, and my masters from the Konkan Krishi Vidyapit in Dapoli, Ratnagiri. There's no fixed schedule, and which is something that I like. My job is not 9:30 to 5:30. So and work keeps on changing, because like I said, I work with a lot with people, a lot with communities. So I have to bend and twist according to the needs of the people, rather than my own personal needs. So many times you end up working during the day in the office, and then you have meetings, with farmers in the evening. So sometimes our day starts at maybe 9:30 in the morning, and will probably finish at 11 in the night. And then there will be times when there is probably no work, where no official work, but then you can engage and try and look at what else you could do in terms of finding new projects, looking at just going and talking to people, exploring stuff. So I'm happy with the way my days, or rather years have progressed now, where there is no fixed routine. I think the skills that you need in a career, I think, you know, are probably the same across spectrums. As when you start your work, there are certain specific skills that you need. But then, as you probably start climbing the ladder, get into a managerial position, there are so many other skills. A simple skill like letter writing also is very, very crucial. As a manager, when I recruit people, sometimes you see that many of the graduates, postgraduates don't even know how to write a letter. So a simple thing like writing a letter, your language, your grammar, communication in terms of how you communicate with people. Empathy is a very, at least in my field where I work with communities, empathy is a very, very important skill. You should have that empathy to be able to connect with local communities when you work. And then I think one of the important skills that I, as somebody who works in the environment, works in the field of nature and nature conservation documentation, is curiosity. And then the will to keep on learning something new every day. There is one good thing about my career or my job is that there is no saturation. You keep on learning something new every day. So you need to have an open mind, and I think all these skills probably, whichever job you do, these are important life skills. Of course, you need to be good in your subject, as far as the technical part of it is required. But then that's just the technical know-how it just opens the first door. How you climb up the ladder, depends on all the other skills that you have. Quite a bit now, with CSR being made now mandatory. I think all the companies, all the corporates, whether it's private or public sector, need CSR professionals. And when I say CSR professionals, these need not be somebody who's trained in CSR. There's nothing called a specific field of CSR, though there are courses and stuff. But anybody with all the skills that I mentioned earlier, somebody who understands community, somebody who's grounded, who understands ground-related issues, is somebody who can fit into this role. He could be agriculture graduate, he could be maybe somebody who's into mass media, somebody who's into maybe in the field of environment. All these people, HR for that matter, all these people can do a CSR-oriented role. But issues like being grounded, understanding ground realities, being empathetic about issues is the skills that are required. Uh, what do I like most about my job is probably the uncertainty. Like I said, there is no fixed routine, which I personally like. The second important thing is the flexibility that I have, in terms of designing projects, in terms of executing them. I think these are two most important things, as personally for me, to be able to perform in a better way. And I think the third most important thing is that being able to spend time outdoors. I'm not a desk type of a person, so I like being out in the field. and my job, gives me all these three liberties. So I'm happy with what I'm doing. Okay, so when I joined Mineral Foundation 20 years back, we were just three people, and then I'm happy that I joined at that position because not only it helped me grow as a professional, but also helped me put together an organization. We the three of us actually build this organization together, and that makes you kind of have a little bit of ownership of the organization also. You feel connected with the organization. You want to do something better. So over a period of time, then we grew. We initially had just one office, then we had field offices. We had something like 20 odd permanent staff and a lot of on contract projects. So yeah, it was nice. And then slowly, as a professional, as I grew up, got into the managerial position, I was able to execute projects on my own, was able to design projects on my own, and then of course, I think we had an excellent team to work with. So yeah, I think it has been a nice journey. You need to be technically sound. If you are technically sound in your subject, whichever subject it is, whether it's environment or wildlife or agriculture or whatever it is, if you are technically proficient, then you will be immediately accepted. And then, like I said, technical skills only open the first door for you. How you perform in your job, in your career, all depends on the other skills that you have. How good you are as a leader,